So we might have a title race on our hands after all. That's right, over in the Premier League, with Man City now moving to within 5 points of Arsenal at the top of the table. Can that gap be shortened this week? We're getting into it, all of it, next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today is match number 14, that's right, over in the Premier League, as we head into a double match week. That's right. So of course, the broad scheme of things, it'll be 3 matches in the space of a week. That's right. Real deal hardcore football. That's right. Can Arsenal extend their lead, or will it be shortened this coming weekend? We'll get into all of it in just a second. Big shout out to members, big shout out to patrons, big shout out to you. Of course, your one-stop shop for all Premier League football is right here under one roof. That's right. Of course, big point on the board there for Chelsea. Liverpool back to winning ways, and of course, City closing the gap. We'll cover all of that, of course, right here, right now. Sit tight. Hold on. Let's get into it. Of course, it's a double match week coming at you this coming midweek over in the Premier League. We're going to get cut into the chase right here, right now, by recapping what went on last time around. And here we go. The situation in the table is on the left. Of course, my predictions on the bottom there, alongside the real deal predictions. Sunderland with a 3-2 win over Bournemouth. I went with a 2-0 win. Brentford 3-1 winners over Burnley. I went with a 1-0 win myself. Man City with a 3-2 win over Leeds. A bit of a close encounter there, but they got over the line in the end. Everton losing at home to Newcastle. A big win for them on the road. Meanwhile, Palace losing at home to Manchester United, giving them their first win. Of course, in a few games. Villa with a 1-0 win over Wolves and a bit of a Midlands derby there. Brighton 2-1 winners over Forest. Liverpool did get back to winning ways with a 2-0 win away to West Ham. And it was all square between Chelsea and Arsenal. The table is on the left here. As you see, Arsenal 5 points clear over City. Chelsea down to third, with Villa up to fourth right now. Going down, it is Wolves, it is Burnley, it is Leeds. But of course, it is still plenty of action to be had. We have got the Prediction League. Double match week, not getting to it today. But of course, just keep doing your ting. Next week, we'll get into it. Of course, we'll bring you bang up to date with all of that. But we are going to get into it. Of course, the games are coming thick and fast. And it all kicks off this coming Tuesday. So let's get into it as we talk. Bournemouth up against Everton and the Vitality Stadium. That's right. Bournemouth and Andy Areola sit 11th right now with 19 points, but they're winless in the last 4 matches. Against the Toffees, then David Moyes is in charge, 14th for the table, just 18 points for them. They're just one loss in the last 4 matches heading into this one. They did play last time at this venue, resulting in a 1-0 win for Bournemouth, who are unbeaten against Everton over the last 4 competitive matches. Everton losing, of course, to Newcastle most recently, quite heavily, in fact. But they do come into this on the back of that 1-0 away win against Manchester United. As for Bournemouth, they occurred 4 games without a win. Their last victory was at home against Nottingham Forest. So bookies will back Bournemouth on this one. I think Everton got something here. I know they've been a bit shit of late, and that game against Newcastle was a rude awakening. But I think Everton will surprise us all and get something on the road here against the Bournemouth side. Let's go to Fulham. Up against Manchester City, coming up at Craven Cottage, also on Tuesday. Marco Silva's boys are back to winning ways, of course. 4 wins the last 5. They sit 15th right now, 17 points for them. Up against the Manchester City side under Pep Guardiola, just 1 win in the last 3 matches. They sit second with 25 points and coming into this on the back of that 3-2 win over Leeds United. So back to winning ways for City. But this match on the road, they've actually been played 5 of the last 6 at home. So unfamiliar territory it will be for City here. Meanwhile, Fulham on the flip side, pretty good of late. Back-to-back wins at home. 3 wins on the 3 wins out of 4 of the last matches in the Premier League. I fancy the chances here. The bookies, though, will fancy City. I've got to back Manchester City as well. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win. Man City to take the points. And again, close the gap on Arsenal. Let's hop on over then to Newcastle United as they take on Tottenham Hotspur. That's coming at you at St. James's Park on the 2nd of December. Newcastle under Eddie Howe, they've won 3. They've lost 3 over the last 6 in all games, in all venues, in all competitions. They sit 13th, 18 points for them. Coming at you, Spurs, though, not great form for them. Just 1 win in the last 6. They're down to 12th in the table, and that's 18 points for them. Coming at you right here, right now. Now, they last played at this venue, resulting in a 2-0 win for Newcastle. That was earlier in the campaign in the EFL Cup. Newcastle coming on top. Newcastle are actually unbeaten against Tottenham over the last 4 competitive matches, including the last time they played at this venue. 2-1 winners it was for Newcastle in the Prem back in September 2024. Newcastle 4-1 winners against Everton most recently. Last home match in the league was a 2-1 win over City as well. So back-to-back wins at home for Newcastle, up against a Spurs side who've been scoring goals but unfortunately not getting the results of late. Bookies will back Newcastle. I think I'm going to back Newcastle as well. 2-0 winners at home for the Geordies. Let's hop on over to Wednesday as we see Brighton of Albion take on Aston Villa. Two sides flying high right now. Fabian Hutzler's Brighton are 5th with 22 points, unbeaten in the last 4 matches. Standing in the way is Unai Emery's Aston Villa have won 5 on the spin, all competitions, and they sit 4th in the table with 24 points. They played, of course, at Brighton last round at this venue, resulting in a 3-0 win for Villa. That was back in April 2025. Villa on the back of that 1-0 win over Wolves. Played 4 of the last 5 games at home in all competitions. The last away match was that 2-1 win away to Leeds United. As for Brighton, back-to-back wins for them. Back-to-back wins at home as well. Playing some really good football. Just 1 goal conceded in the last 4 matches for Brighton. They are, of course, favoured with the bookies on this one. But I'm going to back Villa to get something here. I'm going to go with a 1-1 right down the middle, which, of course, keeps them both in the mixer for top 5 football. Arsenal, then, they're taking on Brentford. An all-London affair. That's right, coming at you at the Emirates Stadium. Mikel Arteta's boys are top with 30 points. Unbeaten now in the last 6 matches, if not more than that. Up against Brentford. Keith Andrews, 4 wins for the last 6. They're doing absolutely phenomenal. 10th at the table, 19 points for them. They've won 4 of the last 6 matches. They're coming into this having played Arsenal last time at this venue back in April, resulting in a 1-1 scoreline. Coming at you right here right now. Brentford, though, 3-1 winners against Burnley. Most recently, that was at home. Last away match, there was a loss against Brighton. In fact, back-to-back losses on the road for Brentford. As for Arsenal, of course, a couple of draws of late on the road, but at home, comfortable wins against Bayern and Tottenham of late, to give them some morale-boosting points there in all competitions. The bookies will back Arsenal. Got to back Arsenal. Going to go 3-0 win for the Gunners. On this one, let's go on over to Burnley as they take on Crystal Palace, coming at you at Turd Moor. Scotty Parker under a bit of pressure right now. 4 defeats on the spin for them. They sit 19th with just 10 points. Up against Palace and Oliver Glasner, they are 9th with 20 points. Back-to-back defeats, of course, coming at you, having played each other 38 times since the year 2000. Last time they played at Turd Moor resulted in a 2-0 win for Palace, who are unbeaten against Burnley over the last 4, including back-to-back wins when they both were in this division last time, back in 2023-2024. Burnley losing to Brentford most recently on the road. The last home match was a defeat to Chelsea as well. Not great for them. 3 defeats on the spin, 4 defeats on the spin even. As for Palace, losing to Manchester United most recently, also against Strasbourg. Games are coming quick and fast for Palace at the moment. They are expected to win this game with the bookies. I think it'll be a tight one. I think it's a must-win territory already for Scotty Parker, as of course the sack race is looming. Let's go to Wolves then as they take on Nottingham Forest at Molineux. Rob Edwards' boys are 20 with just 2 points for the season. They've lost 6, if not more than that, on the bounce. It looks like they haven't won in the last 8 matches. Up against Forest under Sean Dyche, their first defeat last time around. They sit 16th with 12 points. They've taken on Wolves 34 times since 1993, just winning 6 of them. Just winning 8 of them. There's been 14 wins for Wolves and there's been 12 draws. They last played at this venue, resulting in a 3-0 win for Nottingham Forest, who are unbeaten against Wolves over the last 6, including 2 wins and 4 draws. And 4 of those last 4 of the last 5 matches have resulted all square between these two. Wolves are losing to Villa most recently and haven't scored a goal in the league in the last 4 matches. Goodness gracious me. As for Forest, losing at home to Brighton was a bit of an insult for them after a strong week over in Europe. The bookies will back Forest. I think Wolves are going to get their first win. It's got to happen one of these days, and they're going to go with them to win and on Forest this midweek. Let's go to Liverpool then, as they are taking on a high-flying Sunderland side. Currently sitting in 6th in the table are Sunderland under Reggie Labrie. Just 1 win, though, in the last 4. Up against Liverpool, who are bouncing back under Arnie Slot. They're up to 8th right now. 21 points for them. Just 1 win in the last 4 matches. Now, these two sides have played recently, of course, at this venue. 2-0 winners it was back in November 2016. It's the first time in a long, long time. And that was, of course, in the Premier League. Coming at you right here, right now, Liverpool bouncing back with that 2-0 win over West Ham. Sunderland with that lastminute.com winner against Bournemouth most recently. But the bookies will back Liverpool. I will back Liverpool. They should be back here. And I feel it'll be a comfortable win as well. 3-0 winners for the Scousers on this one. Final 2, it's Leeds up against Chelsea at Ellen Road. That's right, Daniel Farkas boys in 18th right now. 11 points for them. 4 defeats on the spin. Up against Chelsea, Enzo Marquesca's boys are 3rd and could be 2nd with a win. And everything else going their way. They got 24 points for the campaign, unbeaten in at least the last 6 matches. They have played last time around at this venue, resulting in a 3-0 win for Leeds. Goodness gracious me, way back in August 2022. Leeds losing a narrow game against Man City most recently, 3-2 loss. As for Chelsea with a 1-1 scoreline against Arsenal most recently. And of course, coming into this massively fancied by the bookies. I also agree with the bookies here. I think Chelsea will win this one. 3-0 winners, going for the jugular and hopefully making a push for that top 2. And then finally, we go to Manchester United as they take on West Ham, of course, over at Old Trafford. Ruben Amorim's boys are 7th right now, just 1 win in the last 4 up against Nuno. And, of course, West Ham just 1 defeat in the last 4. Now, they've played 69 times since 1993. We have 41 wins for Manchester United, 13 wins for West Ham. There's been 15 draws between the two sides. They last played competitively at this venue, resulting in a 2-0 win for the Hammers, who did the double over Manchester United last season. In fact, they won 4 of the last 5 against Manchester United. However, the Red Devils are on the back of that 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. West Ham losing to Liverpool most recently. And of course, not much joy for West Ham on the road of late. Just the 1 draw in the last 2 or 3 matches here. The bookies will back Manchester United. I think I'll back them as well. This will make it back-to-back wins for United. Going to go with a 2-1 win for United. And if I'm right, guys, what does that mean? It will mean this, of course. The table will get shooken up a little bit. Arsenal remain top of the table with City in 2nd. Chelsea remain in 3rd. And Villa in 4th. Going down is Wolves, is Burnley, is Leeds. But keep an eye on Liverpool and Manchester United closing in on those Champions League spots. That is what I've got going on here. Make sure you drop your own predictions down below. And I look forward to seeing them and much more. But until then, I'll see you soon, whenever that is. Until then, we are done.